Hey guys, Nicole here with Obscure Reptiles and Caging, and today we're going to be pulling some ball python eggs. So let's get started. Hey guys, so we're going to be pulling some ball python eggs. It's the beginning of May right now, and it's actually our first clutch of the season. It's going to be our pied female named Beast. She was actually one of the first pied clutches we had ever had, so we held her back. She's about 5 years old right now. Last year we put her with our Mojave pied boy. I'm going to put some pictures right here of the babies that these guys produced. They were amazing. She has a really nice pattern, especially for a pied. She has lots of like brighter colors. She has really weird patterns, and I'll try to find some pictures of her that look really nice, put them up here also, because she's going to look a little different right now. Especially after having eggs. So last year she had 5. We're hoping she at least has 5 eggs or more. But she's been sitting on her heat. We knew to keep an eye on her, but we're going to pull them. She'd probably be a little bit grumpy. There's a reason her name is Beast. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull her out. We're going to put her in a spare bin we have over here. And then we're going to take out the eggs. And make sure when you guys do this, you always completely clean the bin that the eggs are in. If you don't, that mom will still be looking for her eggs and she's not going to want to eat. One of the most important things for breeding females, make sure you get them eating as soon as possible afterwards, and make sure that they're getting their weight back, especially if you're going to be planning on breeding them the next year. So this is Beast, and we're going to try to get these out without her being too bad. You want to make sure not to let any of the eggs flip around, anything like that. Looks like there's at least 5, but you can see those super nice yellows she has. Hi, Mama. I'm going to be super gentle. Don't want to hurt her, don't want to stress her out, but she's done this before, so she's not. Oh, 4 little ones. And what you want to do is you want to just take a minute and look at her really well, especially in the back end. See how she's nice and slim. There's no more room for eggs in there, and she's kind of caved in a little. This is how we know she's done with her eggs. So we're going to put her down here. She'll already start looking for her eggs. Yeah, let go, Mama. We'll leave her there, and we're going to get these in an incubator, get everything all cleaned up. But first thing you're going to do is, we've done this in other videos, but just to go over it real quick, this is vermiculite, and you're going to mix it with just some standard water, and you're going to want it to the consistency where it's wet all the way through, but it's not dripping wet. You want it to be able to almost make like a snowball, if you will, like this. And see how nothing's dripping out, no water's dripping, but is holding that form a little bit. That's perfect. And if it's a little bit too wet, that's better than being a little bit too dry. You can add water more later on, but if it's a little bit wet within that first day or two, it dries out a lot. So normally what I like to do is I like to try to pull the eggs apart, and you make little divots so that way these eggs don't really roll around. You also do not want the eggs touching the side. For anyone who's newer, you can do things like, for example, mark them so you know if they roll, but I'm very careful with that kind of stuff, and generally this is how you check to see if an egg is good. We're going to turn off the lights, and we're going to check and see if these guys are fertile. So this is the first one. See all those big veins? This one is definitely fertile. Things can change, but as of right now, super big, super fertile looking egg. So this one's good. If you catch them early enough, these eggs will still pull apart. But let's say you haven't been watching your female and they've been sitting there for a couple of days. If these eggs are stuck together, it'll be like cement. You won't be able to pull them apart. You'll rip the egg open, and you're just going to have to leave them as a clutch. But since these are from the last couple of hours, you just gently pull back and forth all different directions, and you're able to break them apart. So at some point this one rolled, but because it's been sitting in this orientation, it's probably from when the mom, this was the first one the mom laid, and then she rolled it itself. Because it was still upright, we're still going to leave it upright, even though the veins and most of everything is over here. We'll keep an eye on it. But then there's one last one. Perfect. So all 4 look super good. They're huge, actually really huge eggs. But let's turn the light back on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fully clean out this cage. We're going to clean, sanitize the water dish, take out all the bedding, and sanitize the entire bin. We do this again because if the female smells those eggs, she's going to keep looking for them and she's not going to want to eat. And our most important thing is getting her eating within the next few days. You don't have to try to feed her today or even tomorrow, but normally within the first 5 days you want to start offering her small meals. You're going to give her something like a small rat, and you're going to want to do that every 5 or so days until she really starts putting on some good weight. You don't want her to be fat, you don't want to overfeed, but especially once she's had these eggs, it takes a lot out of them. You'll see their whole belly's kind of caved in, but you want to make sure you get them eating again. It's one of the most important things. Now, when you first see your snake have a pre-lay shed, have an ovulation, you're going to want to turn on your incubator and have that ready, have it already going. So you guys might be hearing a small fan in the background. That's actually from our incubator that will be going the rest of the summer until all of the eggs have hatched. But we turn that on about a month or so before we get eggs so we can tinker with it, make sure all the temperature is perfect. And the last thing I would highly recommend you guys do is, you can do this in any way you like. Every year I always just get an index card, a little bit of duct tape, and I write down all the information. You're going to want to write down the female, how many eggs she had, if she had any slugs, any bad eggs, stuff like that. And this way you can even write down, you can weigh her if you want, you can do everything. So this right here, we're going to write down Beast. She's a pied. We paired her to all of our male pieds. I don't have our phone. What day is today?
10th.
The 10th? Okay. We're going to write down May 10th. And then 60 days from May 10th. So we're going to go with July 10th. That's going to be hatch. And from there, that's how you know that's about 60 days. If you, for example, want to cut your eggs, you're going to want to wait till at least 60 days or one of the babies start to actually pip and cut themselves out. She had 4 good eggs, no slugs, anything like that. And now this way also you save some space. You can actually update it. So let's say one of these don't make it to term, you write that down and that way you can remember, and you just have a good way to document it. Especially let's say if you ever want to sell the female in the future, you can tell them exactly how many if you keep all these cards and just get something like a folder and put them in there. But we're going to leave it just like that. We're going to pop it in the incubator and that's it. That's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We do videos every Wednesday, so we'll see you next Wednesday.